This is Rob Binns, the former chairman and CEO of North American Airlines. I've now partnered with TravelSpan for flights to Guyana and Trinidad. Please support these non-stop flights by calling TravelSpan at 718-845-0437. That's 718-845-0437 or at travelspan.com.
Hi, welcome to Tots and Teens in Focus. I'm your host. Just hold the line for me and I will talk to you in a moment. Just let me talk to my viewers. Hi viewers, this is Patricia Trim. Back. Yes, I am back and I'm ready to do your show and to work with you in the community. You know I love my community works. I love my community people. I love to be in the community. I love to be with the elected officials. I love to ask them their questions. I love to work with youths because I know that youths have inspiration and they teach us. I love to be a part of their life because I get a little bit of young loving. So, you know, I am back. And the teens will be back too to do their show and to give you the inspiration, their ideas and whatever. And we'll be working lots of work. It doesn't matter that I cannot walk as I would like to, but you know, Access a Ride will be taking me to around so that I can be able to move. But I'll be at the shows, I'll be at the events, I'll be recording your events, recording your shows as you have them. I'll be back there. So that's it, our viewers. And our friends out there from Tots and Teens, let me talk again from the phone. Yes, my dear, I'm here. And I just give them the lowdown. So you know what? You understand. But you can tune into on BCAT at Brooklyn Public Network, channel 67. And that's Tots and Teens in Focus. And yes, we are on from 3 to 3:30. Just look out for Patricia Trim and the Tots and Teens members. Also, we have our schedules on YouTube. We have a lot of shows on YouTube. Go on YouTube at YouTube, Patricia Trim 1 channel. And you might even see yourself because Patricia Trim loves to pick up everyone that go to every event. I will snap you in a second. So you can go on there and look at the YouTube. Join us on Facebook too. You will see some beautiful pictures because whatever event happens, you see the pictures here. I did not get to do any event for the years yet. So you will have those pictures whenever we have the event. But by the way, our breakfast morning is coming on in May. So don't go nowhere. It's just a little bit step back. Also, our health fair will be in July. I will have the help of the pastors of Bethel Deliverance Church. They will be assisting me with that health fair. So, but we'll be working together. And coming up would be this year. We want to have a very nice dinner award show. I will not be doing much event this year, but I want to focus on the dinner award show because that award which I really was to do and to award producers for the work that they're doing in the community and to bring it into light. So our dinner award show will be on in October. By then, I will be strong. Yes, I will be strong. So that's Patricia Trim. Give you an update of our events that is coming up. And we will be doing our parent and child relationship program. That parenting belongs to parents and not to the system. We'll be doing it in our studio, our wonderful state-of-the-art studio. We'll be doing that now. So most of our events will be doing in the studio or in a mini studio until I am back to myself or back to normal that I can go wrong. But for now, I have to lay still and lay cold and be quite okay in the studio because it's a lovely studio. Don't have to run here, run there. It's very big. It's very exciting. They have many places you can do your event, many places you can do your shows and do your video. It's all there, all at Brooklyn Public Network. Doing well in the neighborhood. And you know what? You will be seeing me, and I'm sure you saw me because you know what? Our Tots and Teens was nominated. Yes, we were nominated for the Brooklyn Public Awards. Be Free. Yes, Tots and Teens was nominated. So I did not get the award, but I got the nomination. So you know what? We are doing good in the neighborhood. And next year, you got to join into my show so my ratings will go up. Join into my YouTube channel so the ratings can go up, so I can get that award next year for Be Free, Brooklyn Public Network Producers Awards. Thank you. And that's Tots and Teens and any other thing that we have. We will be informing you as time goes by, according to my health, according to how I feel, according to how I make it, because sometimes it is well and sometimes it's not well. But I have a strong heart, strong mind, and I trust my God to heal me fastly, quickly, speedily. Oh, God, pray for me. It got to be done. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yes, dear, I just give them everything that I want them to know. And any other thing, they will know as time goes by. As I heal, so they will know. And that is Patricia. Bye. And don't forget my loving walking foot. It's taken me so far. Thank you.
When flying, there is only one. Check out travel span.
This is Rob Binns, the former chairman and CEO of North American Airlines. I've now partnered with TravelSpan for flights to Guyana and Trinidad. Please support these non-stop flights by calling TravelSpan at 718-845-0437. That's 718-845-0437 or at travelspan.com.
Welcome to Tots and Teens in Focus. I'm your host, Patricia Trim. And today I have a very special guest. He's no other than Kenya Gale. He is a writer. He's a film producer. And he writes a story of the Nat Turner, who was a historian in America. Kenya is going to give us a little bit about himself and tell us more about his art in writing and why he chose to write about Nat Turner and a little bit about Nat Turner and Nat Turner history. Welcome to Tots and Teens in Focus, Mr. Kenya, and thank you for being here to share this story of, you're an author of your book,
yes,
of what you wrote about
yes.
Nat Turner. It's actually like a story of a movie, it looked like, answering and things. So before we take a little sample of it, we'll ask you to introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Kenya Kegu, like you said. I am a filmmaker. I'm an author. I started out as a filmmaker, and I went into authoring my screenplays. So, so it is a screenplay in book form. I started when I was a child. I was writing. I've been writing all my life. And just recently I decided to publish. And I decided to publish because publishing is, and having your words put on paper is a good way to get your stories across. So as a filmmaker, I found some success as an independent filmmaker, and then I find some success as an independent author. So it's been a great experience. The most important thing about Nat Turner, though, and the reason I decided to write about Nat Turner is because the history books never told us a lot about Nat Turner. The history books never told us who he was. There's always, in history, we just found out that he was crazy, he used to hear voices, and he was the leader of a slave insurrection. But this particular book is good for teenagers because around this time is when we find out in school that Nat Turner was a slave who led the most successful slave insurrection. So what I did was I teamed up with a historian, a certified historian. So what we decided to do, I teamed up with one of the most successful historians in the country, a black woman. Her name is Robin Denise Williams. She's a certified historian. I told her what I was doing, and it just so happened that she lives in Southampton County, the same county where Nat Turner insurrection.
And what county is that?
It's in Virginia.
Oh, in Virginia.
It's in
Okay.
Virginia. Right. And what we did was we went through every place where the insurrection took place. We interviewed descendants of some of the survivors of the slaveholders.
Did you find any old slave person there?
Right. There are no longer any.
But they have like descendants.
Right. But I did speak with Nat Turner's descendants.
Okay.
And in speaking with his descendants, you know, there's history, there's what's recorded, there's in the courts, you know, there's the books. But the thing is, family history, as you know, that's one of the traditions of black folk, is that we have a oral family history where we talk about what happened with our great uncles, what happened with, right? So it was really a great process. Now, one of the things is, one of the most exciting things that I have in my books that's in none of the history books is the relationship between Nat Turner and his wife. And that's actually starts in here, that's Act 2. You know, where Nat's wife actually meets him, where they talk, and where they actually develop that relationship. So even though it's a book about an insurrection took place, this whole book is actually a love story. The first part, in the first act, is a love that Nat has for his parents. We see Nat as a child. We see him grow up. We see him talking and relating to his mother, his grandmother, and his father. He really loved his father a lot, right? And his father, by the time Nat is 10 years old, his father escapes. He escapes, and he, you know, to find freedom.
Then if we talk about all the story, then nobody would want to think because they heard his story. But so what are you going to do with this bouquet now that you have this bouquet, which could become into a movie? To know if did they ever had any movie about Nat Turner before?
They have not had a movie. In fact, in 1966, they attempted to do a movie, but it was written by a man whose name I won't mention here. But his description of Nat and his characterization was so terrible. It had a lot of prejudices in it and a lot of bias.
So are you going to do a movie with it? Because the story sounds very interesting, and I think as a slave, and the amount of things that Mr. Turner went through, would be nice that you try to get this book here to become into movie. Have you any plans or anything as yet?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. Yes, we have. In fact, we have one of the greatest black directors of our time has already signed up for the film.
Okay.
And his name is Bill Duke.
Okay.
And Bill Duke, as you know, did Sister Act 2. He did Hoodlum. He did A Rage in Harlem. In fact, he's probably the premier black director in our time. And we also have one of the premier actors already associated with the film, Keith David, who's a character actor. You'll see him in Dead Presidents. Anywhere you turn, you'll see Keith popping up.
So when would this be started?
That's going to be produced as a film in 2014.
Okay.
And we actually already have the premiere date. The premiere is going to be October 2nd, 2014. And that's actually going to take place in Ghana, Africa.
Oh, because where they came from.
That's exactly where Nat's mom was she was abducted in Ghana. And of course, the book is available on Amazon.com. You can get the book on Amazon, or you can pick it up if you're in Brooklyn. And this is a Brooklyn show. You can pick it up at Respect for Life bookstore at 537 Nostrand
So how does the Virginia feel about the book and feel, you know, their sentiment about the book and their sentiment of having a movie of Nat Turner?
Virginia received me quite well when I went out there. They're excited. I can't say that about all the other southern states because I also traveled to North Carolina and Atlanta during research. I did get one threat where a woman told me I should be doing a story on Martin Luther King. I said I'm not going to do Martin Luther King. And she asked me, well, why would you want to do a story on somebody who did so much to us Southerners? And I said, I'm not doing a story.
Well, how do you mean he did so much to the Southerners? What she meant by that?
She meant because it was an insurrection, there were about 55 casualties, and that's in a 24-hour period. And she felt that no matter what, Nat Turner was not justified to create an insurrection.
Okay.
So I believe she just really thought he should remain a slave and find some kind of peaceful way out, but that was impossible. And of course, because of Nat Turner, it hastened the Civil War. It hastened action against slavery.
Okay. So is this your first book?
This is my, it's real interesting. Even when I wrote it, I didn't realize it was my first book. Okay. I actually published a book years ago, but I didn't write the book. Okay. This is my first written book, and it wound up becoming a bestseller. The entire month of October, it's been a bestseller on Amazon. It continues to this day to be a bestseller on Amazon.
Oh, and I know that a book like this with the story and the film all set, I know that a lot of people will buy the book just to make a movie or make what you call it, a storyline that they can do it on TV or they could do it on production. Yeah. But I tried to read some of it, and let me see if I can be part of your crew.
Excellent, excellent.
And it said here that I'm speaking on the slaves apart. Start to plead. Nat shows no fear, but braces himself. He clenched his feet. This is Nat. It is okay, for he who knoweth his master will and doeth it not shall be beaten with many stripes. Overseers draw his whips back. He attempts to strike, but feels a tug of the whip. He looks back, ready to scream at someone. He sees Mr. Turner holding the whip. Well, that is to tell that Mr. Turner, stand up to them. He who doeth his master's will and doeth it not shall be beaten by the sword soon. And then the overseer said, we have going to give this runaway what he deserved. And this is nice that you write it exactly how it happened, and you didn't go wrong the bush to make it sound nice, but just the way that it happened. Yeah. He said, hello, Mr. Turner. That's Nat. Mr. Turner came back on your own. Missed us. Oh, this is like Mr. Turner get away from the slaves.
Yeah,
Nat got away.
Ran
away, and he come back now to stand up for his people. So it's similar like the Black Moses. Black Moses,
you could say it's similar to
similar to that. Okay. Yes. But she wasn't beaten. She was helped to get rid of the slaves. His book is very interesting, and I would like to that some of my teens who is on the program can act a part of this wonderful book.
I would love to.
The Prophets, the story of Nat Turner. And please remember us.
I certainly will.
Please remember us when this production come out, and that it could be given to the opportunity to young writers and actors and so forth. So this is Mr. Kenya book, and I advise you people, our viewers, it's very interesting. It's a book called The Prophet, the story of Nat Turner. Some of us may not know who is Nat Turner, but if you buy the book, you purchase the book, you will understand who is Nat Turner. And he was one of the slaves from Virginia who stand up to his master, and as he said, those who do it his master's will shall be beaten by the whip, the sword, the whip. And also he hold on to the whip to show his strength for our people. We know that long ago slaves, our slave history came from Africa, and I would like to point that out with you too. Yes. But sometimes we turn and say it was the white man who committed slavery. But as I see it, it's not the white man that committed the slavery, it is our own black people in Africa who sold us, because they're the ones who sold us, and our ancestor who was fighting felt that they should not be in slavery. They were strong. Yes. And because they were strong, the whites were afraid of them because they were real strong. Yes. So they had to keep them bound in prison, bound in chain, because they wanted to return. They were fighting resistance. Yes. And slavery did not come because of white people, it came because of the Africans. And I think that we always blame white people when we should be blaming our African brothers and sisters back in Africa who sold us, sold our ancestors as a slave, because they used to trade, come out into the Americas and trade. And that is where they find they find the effort of, instead of trading the jewelries or trading whatever they have for a thing, they decided now to take human bodies. And that is why we had so much slaves came here. It wasn't, we weren't bound in slavery by white folks. We were bound in slavery by our own black folks in Africa.
Right. I mean, it was, everybody have to take some of the blame. And slavery only lasts as long as it did because there weren't a whole lot of Nat Turner. Because
there were nobody to come and fight, because they sold us. It's not that we were kidnapped, that the Africa will come looking for us. They sold us. And a lot of chiefs were involved. They sold us.
A lot of the chiefs were involved in
so they didn't care what happened. They get more bodies, they get the blacks out. And I think those are the history that need to become alive so people can see what Africa did to us, that we had to suffer, our ancestors had to suffer under the rules of the white slave. We say it's the white slave, but our slavery started in Africa. Not in the Americas. In Africa, our slavery did start.
It actually did start in slavery. In fact, slavery actually started about 700 years before it happened in the United States. For about 700 years, Africans were enslaved by the Arabs. And, you know, there's been a lot of slavery going on. And slavery happened with one tribe enslaving another tribe.
Because the tribe just hustle to sell one tribe.
So, so you just had all those.
I think you must write a book about that. You know, let people be educated, because we only tend to see it one way. But as I say, our slavery starts from Africa. It didn't start in America. Yes. We were controlled in America.
Yes, yes.
Under chains and whip, and on the ship we were controlled by that, so that we can't run away. But our slavery really began in Africa.
And yeah, and I'm actually doing a study. I'm doing a study now. I'm going to be doing a study for the next 2 years. In fact, few years, maybe more than 2. But I'm studying with Reverend Honeywell, who's part of Mount Pisgah, who's a scholar in terms of Black history. And I'm just learning a lot more. As I go from this book, we have some sequels coming up. I'm just learning a lot more, and we're getting it together. Plus, we have a historian now working with us, Ms. Robin Williams. So I'm learning a lot from her, because the next time I do another fiction book, it has to be as impactful as this, and it have to teach, and it have to be real, and it have to be entertaining.
Okay. I'd like to see that book come out about slavery in Africa, so people will understand what Africa really did to us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you for being on our show. Thank you for giving us such a great history of Mr. Nat Turner. And this is Mr. Kenya Gale, and he has a name like the Kenya Gale. And his book he's also will be doing a filming. It's also in process and progress to become a motion picture. It's already a bestseller.
Yes.
So go get your books before it's out of the stores, out of stores. It's interesting, and everything about it is very interesting. I got to read it, and I got to enjoy it. Thank you once again, and thank you for bringing up this type of thing of the slavery. And I do hope that you write that book of slavery in Africa.
I'm going to let you know, Patricia, you're going to be one of the first people to know. And in fact, I'm going to make sure when we start filming, I'll bring some of the celebrities down here to be on your show.
Yes, bring them in so we can have them on the show.
Yes.
Okay, then. Thank you again, Mr. Gale. Thank you, and that talk was very much interesting. And I know that I love my Black people, but our people in Africa sold us for nothing. Thank you. That was Tots and Teens in Focus with Mr. Gale and his book of the story of Nat Turner. Remember, the book is on Amazon.
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com, say it. When is
the book is available on Amazon.com. You just go there, order the book. You can get it as an ebook, or you can get it as a regular book. And also in Brooklyn, it's at the is at the bookstore 537 Respect for Life, 537 Nostrand Avenue. Pick one up today.
So pick up your books and make certain that you have your books so that you can have Mr. Gale. He's an historian. He's a BA. You're a BA. Yours, your Bachelor of
MBA.
An MBA. So
Yes.
he's well knowledgeable of what he's saying, and he goes to history.
Yes.
You have to go to Africa and get those people.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers.
Thank you.
Join Mr. Gale on his ride and his journey of writing of Mr.
When flying, there is only one. Check out travel span.
This is Rob Binns, the former chairman and CEO of North American Airlines. I've now partnered with TravelSpan for flights to Guyana and Trinidad. Please support these non-stop flights by calling TravelSpan at 718-845-0437. That's 718-845-0437 or at travelspan.com.
Welcome, welcome once again. It's Tots and Teens in Focus, and today we are at our storybook corner, and we have no other but Miss Cheryl Hainsworth, the author of Children's Storybook and Patchwork of Me. She'll be telling us something about these books here, and especially the one that really catch my eye is Happy Birthday, Cheryl. So she'll be telling us more about this, and as on our corner, our storybook corner, Cheryl will always able to give us some kind of information, so you can bring the children around, gather children around, so they can have their storybook of Happy Birthday. Cheryl will introduce herself, and so in the future she will have her corner of Cheryl's storybook corner. So Cheryl, once again, and before we get into the storybook corner, you're going to tell us more about the storybooks and your ideas, and introduce yourself.
Thank you for inviting me, Ms. Trim. I want to tell you how delighted I am to have been invited, and I'm glad to be here with you and your illustrious team of professionals. I want everybody to know that birthdays are very important, not only to our children, but to adults. This latest book I've written is called Happy Birthday. And the reason I call it Happy Birthday is for the simple reason that I like to wear hats. And in our Afrocentric traditions and other traditions around the world, hats are worn to birthdays. But this particular book is about me wearing different color hats to my birthday and asking friends and family to come along and enjoy my birthday with me. As a child growing up in Guyana, for my birthday, I always had a boiled egg.
Yes,
but my fantasy, yes, the boiled egg tradition. That boiled egg tradition originated in Africa, where a child would receive an egg because the egg was a symbol of life.
Okay.
And eggs are very, very important to all of life. And I like the idea of boiling an egg for a child or for myself, and I got it from my parents. But this book is about wearing a hat and wearing different color hats to a birthday celebration.
Okay, I see you have this book here.